It's the last morning of our B&G Campout, our June Greenwater Campout. It's the last campout we'll be having in Greenwater, so that makes it kind of extra sad. But it sure was a good time, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. So we got a few things that folks are going to share with us, and then we'll be wrapping up our campout. So who'd like to go first?
I'll go.
Okay.
I stayed up to about 11:15, and then I'm on the other side of the river, so I wandered over there and chatted with them for a few minutes. Then, or no, they weren't still over here. That was later, but so then I got situated, laid down in bed, and I was laying on my side, and I started to feel some slight vibrations. So I thought maybe it was from me wiggling. So then I laid flat on my back, and the minute I put my arms out like this, vibration! But it was cold. I'm like, thank you guys, because I didn't know that you were even here. And then it went on for, it seems like, 20 minutes, but I'm sure it was only 3 to 4 minutes. But real subtle, but it was there.
All right.
And then I have an electronic step that was turned off, and it was going in and out all night long, and the battery's turned off.
Yeah. Well, I'm really glad to see you reporting this with a smile on your face.
I am. Yeah, it's all good.
You don't feel traumatized at all?
Not at all.
Right on. Glad to hear it. Very cool. Thank you. Okay, who'd like to go next?
Thanks for the introduction. Well, I'm not real sure if it's my mind or what, but we have 2 different bedrooms, one in the front, one in the back of the motorhome of where we sleep. And we had only put the tip outs out just a little bit, just in case the batteries in the coach went dead. And because I know you can manually crank it, but I really didn't know how to do it and didn't want to have to do it very much. So we only had them out a little bit if something happened. So anyway, I'm going back to the back bedroom where it is in a tip out, and thinking anyway that, well, I don't want my head against the back side, so I had my feet against the tip out part and my head on the other end. And as I was tucking in, I hit the button by mistake that moves the tip out, and it started to move it out, and I stopped real quick. So it was like really full battery and great there, which made me feel good. And then just tucked in, and as I was, I had asked, because I had hit that button, I had asked my sister, so it was in my head, that maybe something could come through somehow the tip out since it wasn't all the way out. So she got a light and looked, no, nobody's going to come put their arm in there, it's cool. So, I mean, it was in my head, but after I laid down for just a little bit, and it's probably about your timing, because we came back with you, but we did play Yahtzee for a little bit.
It was about the same time.
And my sister was still up walking, so she wasn't up in her bed yet. And I just think I felt a tapping on my foot. And I thought, oh my goodness, my foot's throbbing, but it freaked me out kind of enough to say something to my sister. And she came back and, you okay and everything. I said, well, you going to come sleep with me? I said, no, I think my foot okay, no, it's just in my head. So she walked away, and darn, it did it again, enough that I got up and left and did not sleep back there. And I went and slept with my sister.
So you feel like
thing.
There was an outside source was touching you?
I felt, all I know is I felt on the foot, just like someone had just done that. That's what I felt. And so anyway, then that's really all I felt. And once I got up with her, I tried to pay attention to my foot to make sure there isn't some throbbing or something, whatever my mind was trying to say that it is. And I didn't feel that anymore. So that was my real feeling. As far as batteries and mechanical, first thing I did when I woke up was go to hit that button to start bringing that bed in, and it was dead as a doornail. And it was plenty charged last night when I accidentally hit it, and it started moving it right away. And if it's going dead, I can hold it for a few seconds and you can hear it, but it just won't move. It's not enough. So, but it moved right away last night when I hit that button. So and it was just dead as a doornail, and we had to get out, and I went and got Tina and a few choice words, and we got it cranked in. I learned how to crank it in. I can now do that on my own if we're in the woods. And then backed up and so she could get hers moved, and went to hit that button, and I got a charge on my, it's charged up now, it had moved, it hit it right away. So I don't know what that was about.
Okay.
Same thing on my motorhome. Total dead this morning. As soon
Really?
as I start up the engine, battery's 100%. I don't know what the heck's going on. If I've got a wire loose for the coach to batteries. But I'm thinking when I get home, probably everything will work fine. So I'm not even going to worry about it.
Yeah. Guy had a dead battery this morning too. Had to borrow a charger. And you know, that's pretty common at the campouts for batteries to die. Electronics will die. There were a few ladies that asked me to charge their phones because they were completely dead when they brought them fully charged, and when I plugged them in, they jumped right up to 40 or 60% that they weren't dead, although they were reading as dead. Yeah. All right, cool. Anybody else? No?
Max?
Oh, Max, what do you got?
So, it was just yesterday, and me, Stryker, Sarah, and Virginia,
Oh yeah,
all went
I was gonna
behind.
tell this.
We all went behind Rob's bus, and as we're going on the trail, Virginia starts feeling that we shouldn't be there. But I was like, oh, I wanted to keep on going. And so, like, we were debating if we should go further or come back. And then Sarah and Stryker were like, yeah, let's go back. And I'm like, all right, okay, I'll go. And then we heard these tree knocks, like, and it's like, all right, we're leaving. And then as we're walking by, we're just talking and talking. And all of a sudden, we hear, like, this child, like, yelling or something like that, like they were scared. And Sarah also heard whistling, so we like, we're done, we came back here. And also, last night, me, Anita, and my dad, we all went on a night walk. And
No, the headache part.
oh yeah, that's right. Before I go on to that part, right after the tree knocks happened, me and Stryker and Sarah just got, like, headaches.
Wow.
And
Out of
Virginia.
nowhere, just headaches.
Wow.
And then, yeah, like I was saying, we went on that night walk, and we're over there. We take a turn, and then I felt like Bigfoot was starting to mess with me because I kept seeing and hearing things. And so we just keep going on, and like, we should turn back for some reason. It's like I didn't feel like we should be there,
Really?
and so we turned back, and before we made that turn, I did see, like, a red light just, like, go right behind the trees. It just appeared. It was gone.
How big was it?
It wasn't very big. It was about maybe that big.
Just a little light?
Yeah.
Wow.
Was that before or after our group met your group? Or when we crossed paths at the intersection? Was that before that? The red?
Oh yeah, the
I
day
think it was. It was either, like, right before.
The day
we met
after.
up,
Max,
or
talk to the camera.
or right after we met up, so yeah, we just kind of came back, and I thought I saw, like, arms, like, passing by, like Bigfoot was like going beside us, like, watching us. And so we get back here, and not too long ago, while we were still at the fire, my hand started vibrating out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and then it just stopped.
That was
Wow.
this morning.
Yeah.
He was playing with the poker, and he goes, oh, my hands are vibrating.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, thank you for sharing. Anybody else? Oh, you have something, Reba?
Yeah. So, went to bed and looking forward to a good night's sleep and not anxious as I had been in the night before. But my car and I kept having an argument about whether it should have lights on after I locked myself in it, and I've never used my car that way. And the alarm kept going off, panic alarm. So Anita and Courtney come down after about the 5th time of it going on and off, and I'm getting it off and then trying to make it so the lights would all go off on the side where the switches are. I was so glad that they came and helped resolve my argument with my car. I think the Bigfoot is not going to want me to bring that car again.
Oh, okay.
So-
Well, maybe they were having fun with it.
Yeah, I thought, well, this is going to end any activity, but I did hear a thump, and looked this morning, and it's almost like where there's a cluster of trees towards the back of that park camping area. There was two disturbance in the dirt next to the tree. Made me think something had jumped out of the tree.
Okay. So
Just-
that was where you heard the thump?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
behind me. And this morning I have a gifting area, and I did put out food, but I had a white common shell, clam shell, a crystal heart, and a pink shell that looks kind of like a nice little pastry with pink icing. And that had been picked up, like someone picked it up, looked at it, that's not edible, and dropped it.
Oh, okay.
So if it's okay, I'd like to leave some blueberries or something.
Sure. Sure. Make a little offering before you
Uh-huh.
go.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay. And what would you like to share?
So we were sitting around the campfire here, and I went over and I was trying to fall asleep in one of these anti-gravity chairs over there. I can't remember who I was with. And while everybody was talking, me and the woman I was laying next to, we started hearing whistles behind us. And we told the ladies that were down over by the food table. And they're like, yeah, we hear it too. And then it started getting louder and louder, and we heard it all around us, and then it stopped. So,
Wow. What time was that?
probably about 8:39.
Last night?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Cool. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Did you have something?
Yeah, we were up us night owls quite late. Yes, it's louder, and I was up with about 4 or 5 people. We stayed up talking and listening and hoping for something. And I was sitting here getting kind of sleepy, and across the street here, up in the tree line, I saw several red eye shines, and I stared at them. They didn't just, my imagination look and they disappear kind of thing. They stayed red, and then it's like they'd blink and open again. So they were showing me.
Oh.
And some were red, and I saw a couple white eye shines.
Okay.
I don't know who that was, but it was really cool.
All right.
really
Cool.
enjoyed
What
Yeah,
time? What time of night?
That was about, what was it, midnight?
1:30, I don't know.
We were, yeah.
Okay. And
So
that
it
was
made
right
me-
across the road
We-
over
we
here?
got
Right
That was
across
the-
the road, up in the trees up there. Yeah. And
Alright.
I pointed out to Pat, and he thought it might have been a truck lights. And I
The
said, no,
security
up
light.
higher, way up higher.
But she said it was
And
up
right
in the tree.
across those 3, 4 trees right there, it was just like several
Right over there.
eye shines. Yeah, there were quite
Right here.
over 5, I'd say.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just watching us. I think we're fascinated or whatever
Very cool.
we are to them.
Okay, so Kevin, you're camped over there, and
Yeah.
you said something about you'd seen some red eyes.
Oh, the red eyes was on the night walk, but I went to bed around 12:31, and just as my head hit the pillow, I heard tree knocks. It was like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and that
Wow.
was further down past the.
Well, that's
Yeah.
pretty similar to what Max reported.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it was very. We heard some very rhythmic.
About that
Wow.
time.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Well, I wonder if that could have something to do with they were picking up the drum beats that we had been
Oh,
doing around
yeah,
here.
Yeah, could
Yeah.
And like my cup song.
And your cup song, yes. Cool. Right on. What you got, Max?
And also, another thing was that, every once in a while, this buzzing would just start coming up in other places. We're just standing on the road, and all of a sudden,
Like a power line.
like a power line or
Yeah.
something like
Oh.
that.
So you guys heard it too?
Out,
Yeah,
we
it's
all
like
heard
right
that.
around here, so it's like. And when we
Wow.
were playing night at the museum by the trailer, it started buzzing.
So what
I
time was
remember
this?
that. I remember that.
When was the buzzing?
This morning. Yeah, this morning.
And also last night.
Yeah.
Yesterday evening.
Wow, that's interesting.
And last night. They heard it last
Yeah.
night too.
Wow. Cool. Very cool. Okay. Anybody else?
Well, just to talk about the red lights, we were on a night walk, and that's why I asked Max if he'd seen his red lights before or after, because I saw some red lights, just real tiny, pinpricky red lights, with as much red as you can pack into a little pinpricky.
Yeah.
light.
Kind of what I did.
And it was right over the top. I was talking to Guy. It was right next to the big X at the end of the road.
Okay.
And it was just to the right of that, and I'm talking to Guy's talking. I say, "There's a light right over your head." He steps beside me, turns around and looks, and then all of a sudden I didn't see the single, but then there was two. They were offset, and we both watch it for like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi out.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's cool. Were they stationary? Did they move at all, or
They didn't move.
no? Okay.
Yeah, mine moved. Like, it was just one little light, like, looking
No,
on
talk to the camera, Max.
It's just this small little light, and it's there looking at us, and then it just like fast and just moves away.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I saw the other morning or afternoon driving up the road when there was a couple of our campers were looking at the X, and there was a car there. And as I'm driving up the road, I'm maybe just not even 100 feet from the car on the ground, a few inches off the ground, there was just a little red light in the middle of the day, and it just kind of did a little like this and gone.
Wow.
And
You're talking about some other day that happened just then.
no, that for me, I don't remember what day it was, but it was one of the days I was coming back up here, and it was right there by the X.
It was our first
First
full
day. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Cool.
Ashley had
You have something?
Couple things. I guess I'll share what Guy shared with us last night. We were all sitting here, and he told us that he has in his wallet 3 wheat pennies, and they are always in his wallet. They're always in the same place. And when he got up here, he had his wallet in his truck the entire time. And at some point last night, he reached into his pocket and he found one of the wheat pennies that was in his wallet in his pocket.
Wow.
So there's that story. And then on a personal one on my end, not too much activity last night. We were at the fire pretty late, and when I got back to my campsite, it was really hard to go to sleep, and I definitely saw it getting lighter and lighter, and I'm like, man, I gotta go to bed. And finally did get to sleep, and not sure how many hours I slept, but this morning I woke up on my own, and I was like, I'm really tired. I want to go back to sleep. I just want to get a little bit more in. And so as soon as I closed my eyes, there was a thump right next to my head. My eyes shot open, and I said, okay, I guess I got to get up. So I got up.
Okay. All right. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
On the penny, back to the penny thing. After you were saying something about that this morning, because I wasn't here to hear that last night, there were a few other people mentioned that they'd been finding pennies. And that was something we set up on camp on Tuesday, and on Wednesday morning, when I opened my tent to come out, there was a penny right outside my tent door that hadn't been there before.
Wow.
And didn't somebody else say they'd been finding pennies, Terry?
I found 3
Yeah.
up in this area, and you know, this is a camping area, so people could have dropped them, but that was 3 pennies, 1 each day, so.
Wow. Cool.
I
And
found
everybody's
one,
been
too.
walking, so
Yeah.
somebody else.
Could have been dropped. Could have just
Yeah.
been kicked out of the duff, but
Yeah.
still interesting.
There was one down at our camp, and I just thought someone had dropped it.
Okay.
I found one right outside the door. I think yesterday. I made a couple of rock piles, and I was like, wow, there's a penny. I haven't seen that, and so I put it on top of my little rock pile.
Well, okay.
A lot of penny activity.
Interesting.
I also found one. It was just right outside the camper, you know, like, which is, I'm walking out of the trailer over there, and I just see the penny on the ground, so I'm like, oh, okay. You know,
Okay.
somebody could have dropped it, but, you know,
That's a lot of pennies popping up.
yeah.
Okay. Right on. Cool. Thank you. So, anybody else have anything they'd like to share?
Yeah, one more thing. When we were walking up trying to find the infamous cave, we got to a point where we couldn't really go much further unless we either crossed the creek and walked the other side of the creek, or we went up higher and passed around a big jumble of downed trees. But Linda stayed behind because it was getting kind of treacherous, and so we walked up, found that we couldn't really go much further, came back down, and the minute we all got back together in the group, right behind us, about 30 feet behind us, big rock clap, and me and Linda heard it, and it was close.
Wow.
Really close. Nobody else around but our group. And nobody else heard it either.
You know, we don't spend a lot of time up in that area as a group, but there are a lot of reports come into the store from that area of people that are just out camping and things happen to them. So
Yeah, it was really close. I'm looking around, hoping I'd see a face.
didn't see nothing, huh? Okay. All right, thank you. Anybody else? No? All right, well, I guess this wraps up our final camp out meeting from our June camp out. It's been an amazing week. Thank you all so much for being here and sharing your experiences with us. And I can't wait till the next time we can get out in the woods and do this again. So, thanks everybody.